look at pictures of yourself and say, dang, I need to do that again. Or maybe you look at a video that a friend posted of you on social media and you're like, oh boy, never, I never should do that again. Well, recently my husband greenlighted the purchase of a GoPro. And I've been talking about getting a GoPro for mountain biking for 3 years now. And I finally took the plunge and picked up a GoPro. Here's the thing, I got some feedback from a friend, and he messaged me over on a social platform and said, hey, loving your footage, and you're going into your turns in this direction. And if you just kind of do this, it's going to help you out and you're going to be more stable. This biking buddy actually saw, I almost totally went out over an edge in a really serious way. It could have been really bad. And he was behind me. And it was all because of my back tire possibly popping off the track as I was whipping around. And so his feedback was really super powerful for me to receive. He was concerned. The message also said, I hope you take this the right way, right? And a lot of times it's uncomfortable giving feedback to other people because we're nervous. Are they going to think I'm out to get them? Are they going to know that I am intending this for something good in their life? How will they receive this? I don't always receive advice super great. Most of the time, I like to think that I do. I think we all like to expect the best of ourselves. When it comes to biking, it's really easy for me to receive it because I'm still low man on the totem pole trying to catch up with everybody. And so I will very quickly try to assimilate every little bit of information that I can get that will improve my riding. It makes me determine what I want to redo. Now, you know, I love to write and I love words. All of this actually got me thinking about a prefix. Yeah, oh my gosh, grammar Nazi here, right? I just am dropping in some of the English class that you were hoping you'd never repeat, right? Well, I remember when I was teaching in the classroom, I used to teach little second graders about prefixes. And the prefix re means to do again. So sometimes we want to repeat something, we want to do it again, or we want to review something, we want to view it again. And I was thinking about the combination, the fusion of this concept, the fusion of gaining feedback from other people that we value their feedback, right? They're qualified to give us that feedback, and the concept of doing something again. Fuse those two things together. Have you paused? Because life, remember, it's not busy. We are being very productive in pursuing whatever it is that we believe we need to be pursuing. So we're not busy, we are productive. If you didn't listen to that podcast episode, go back and give that one a listen. But have you taken time to actually pause and review what your schedule has been like? This morning, as I was reviewing my schedule and I was looking back over the last couple of months because my planner has 2 months at a time. And I was reviewing, what have I done? What have I accomplished? I have my goals for that specific month written down. Did I hit all my goals? And I was really reflecting on what it is that I was going after. When we take time to review, we need to be asking ourselves the best questions possible. There are 3 questions I want to encourage you to ask. I'm going to encourage you to review your year or the last couple months. Don't wait until Q4 to start reviewing where you are in relation to your goals and in relation to where you want to grow into. Okay. So as you're reviewing, here are 3 things that you want to look for. 1, you want to evaluate. Was that effective? Did whatever it is that you were doing create the outcome that you were looking for? For example, my kids and I have been trying out different donut recipes. Yes, in North Idaho, we don't have a donut shop except for the grocery store. And they're decent donuts if you want a donut. I don't eat very many donuts. So when I eat a donut, I want a really good donut. If you're ever in California, and you're in Modesto, stop by Mr. T's Donuts. They're hands down the best donuts on the face of the earth. Little local shop, so good. Well, we were trying to create our own Mr. T's Donuts here at home. Over 3 weekends, we tried 3 different recipes. They were not effective recipes. Let's just put it that way. Yes, we did share some of them with our neighbors, and the first 2 batches were like, it's okay. The last batch was so horrible, my son would not even finish eating it for real. So I want you to evaluate, is what you are doing and pursuing effective? A lot of people right now are trying to tap into the power of social media, and they're spending a lot of time and a lot of energy and sometimes a lot of money in this pursuit. So, whatever it is that you're pursuing, you need to stop and evaluate. Is this working? Is this effective? I noticed that a lot of friends of mine have kind of scaled back over the last couple of months on the social media platforms. And I think the reason is that, life is going back into its normal groove and people are actually with real people again and traveling and out and about. And so we're not so much on social media as we used to be. Used to be meaning during the pandemic when that was just part of the lifeblood for a lot of us of staying connected, especially with our professional peers. You need to evaluate, is what you're doing effective? When it comes to social media specifically, you want to be evaluating, why am I on this platform? What is the outcome that I want from this? Do I want people to schedule a call from me? Do I want them to simply like my things? Because if you're not getting the outcome, then you might be wasting your time, or you're going to be in need of a new strategy, right? So, whatever it is that you are pursuing, take a breath, skip a beat. The sky will not fall. Evaluate, is this effective? The second part you want to look at is this efficient? Well, maybe let's go back to that social media example. Maybe I am getting the results I'm looking for. Maybe being on social media, I am having people schedule call with me as potential investors or coaching student clients. And maybe I'm getting that outcome, but was it efficient? How much of my time, energy, and money did it take for those conversions to take place? When we evaluate if it is efficient, we need to double back into, is it effective? Well, it was effective, but it wasn't the most efficient way of going about this. So I'm going to try something different. But here, in my personal humble opinion, is the most important thing that you need to be evaluating. Was it satisfying? In his book, Super Coach, Michael Neal points out that when you do what you love and when you choose to do more of what you love, everything else falls in place. It's not what we are taught to do. We're taught to, swallow the frog first. And yes, I do agree that's great advice, but we're kind of taught to, pull our bootstraps on and suck it up and just grit through and do the tough things. But if it's not satisfying, we're not going to have the actual literal chemical releases in our body that are going to help drive us into doing that more. And so then we're going to end up resenting it and not wanting to do it, which often leads to procrastination or frustrations. So as you're evaluating, I want you to evaluate, was this satisfying? I personally love what I do. I love educating investors. I love working with seasoned investors. I love coaching people so that they can reach their next best level. These are things that I love. I love podcasting. But there are the times where it is a grind and you just have to, push through that maybe 2 or 3 steps of the, 100-part process that you have to push through, in order to get the results that you want. But often those pain points are also the points where we need to continue to grow. So that's that feedback for us of, oh, I'm growing as a person. This is a challenge to me. This is frustrating. This is something I don't like, but I'm learning a lot about myself through this process. So it's really worthwhile. So as you're thinking about your week, just rewind a bit. Take a look back, review what's taken place, see what you want to keep. Evaluate, was this effective? Was this efficient? And most importantly, was this satisfying? Okay, I just have to add a little more on that satisfying part because I think that we're conditioned to think that if we are loving what we do, then there's something wrong. So I want to encourage you that loving what you do does not mean that there is something wrong. It means you are on the right path. So if you're finding satisfaction in something, that doesn't mean, oh, you must be doing something wrong. It means, oh, do more of that. What would the world look like if people were doing things that they felt fulfilled and satisfied by? It'd be extraordinary. That's what I have for you. I hope that you share this with somebody else. It is a free way of supporting this podcast. And it also helps the podcast reach other people, right? Which is super exciting. If you haven't already subscribed or left a review, I would be honored if you took just a moment. It really does take just a moment to do that, but it makes a huge difference for the podcast. Until next time, live big, love bigger.